Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here with my inaugural Fans Choice episode. This is where I pose a question and I formulate a top 10 list based on your answers. And I'm going to go ahead and pose next week's question, for which I'll make another video and post it next Monday. So I'm going to try to make this a weekly series to the best of my ability. Yes, the best of my ability. And I'm going to ask this question now. What is your all-time favorite G1 Transformers toy? You can leave your answer down in the description below, or you can tweet me at Soundwave8084. I will also post a question up on my Facebook, which is at Soundwave8084, and also I will put it up on my Instagram, which is at Soundwave_review. Oh, sorry, Soundwave_8084_reviews. Woo! And I'll also post a question here on my YouTube channel in the community section. So, what is your all-time favorite G1 Transformers toy? Alright, now getting on to this episode, I posed a question over social media last weekend. What was your favorite, all-time favorite G1 Transformers cartoon episode? So I have gotten the answers, I have formulated the top 10, and I'm going to go through it. And some of this, the answers surprised me. Not everything made it in top 10, of course, but we'll just hit these points, and I'll just mention a few things about the episodes as I go through this top 10. So let's go ahead and hit the list. Number 10. Starscream's Brigade. Now that episode is what introduced the Combaticons in season 2 to the viewing audience. So you can say, hey, I want that new toy, let's go buy it. So it brought a new combiner team into the fold. Now Starscream was kicked out of the Decepticons by Megatron, tripped over some former World War II military hardware, and then decided he was going to make his own army. So he went off to Cybertron, got some personality components that were stored in like a little prison thing, took it back and placed it inside of these newly rebuilt Transformers, and he had his army of Combaticons. Now it was a good episode. I do enjoy that one. And also you got to see Bruticus battle with Devastator and see Devastator get his butt kicked. And then you got to see Minosaur land the knockout punch on Bruticus. Number 9, Dark Awakening. Alright, so this is the episode that brought Optimus Prime back first after he was killed off in Transformers the movie. And they brought him back as pretty much a zombie controlled by the Quintessons. Now, it is actually an episode animated by ACOM that is not actually that bad. I mean, there's some usual ACOM stuff, but they must have their A group of animators on this episode, as it's overall a more enjoyable episode with animation and everything. And we got to see Optimus Prime come back as a zombie, attack the Autobots. And I actually enjoy this episode myself. It's a very interesting episode. Kind of dark. Of course, Dark Awakening. And just put that nail in the coffin or drive that knife through the rest of your heart just to say, you know, Optimus Prime, he's dead, yo. Because the end of it, you're like, dang, they really just finished him off. But, hold up. Here are retcons coming. Number 8, Traitor. It's an excellent episode. It's, you know, Fairly Done is one of the better animated episodes. I would say that as well, especially of season 2. And it's an enjoyable episode that gives you some depth into Cliffjumper and to Mirage. And it's probably one of the episodes people probably remember most about Cliffjumper and how he's hot-headed. Overall, interesting episode, and one I do also actually enjoy. Number 7, Ghost in the Machine. Ghost in the Machine is a season 3 episode featuring Starscream's second return as being a ghost. This time he takes over Scourge in hopes of meeting with Unicron to regain his body. And it is one of the episodes I laugh at the most. Now he tells Unicron to make the connections himself, and he's just a floating head.
Do it yourself!
I mean, anything with Starscream, especially in season 3, it was very enjoyable, as he was dead, but he was a ghost. And it was just funny to see Galvatron go crazy about wanting to kill Starscream again. And I'm not surprised they made this list. Number 6, Grimlock's New Brain. Now this is an episode I am actually surprised made this list, as I saw this repeated multiple times, and that actually shocked me a little bit. I do like, I guess, the way at Computron, you know, they made Grimlock smart, where she just sounds pretty much like Jetfire when you do. But then he transfers his his brain power into Computron, which he created the Technobots to fight the Terracons that formed Abominus. So pretty much we got the Technobots origin story in this episode. And that's probably one of the ones, maybe one of the reasons why it also gets high up in this list. I think a lot of the Combiner origin stories are some of the better episodes, especially of season 2. But Terracons never really got an origin story. They just appeared. But yeah, Grimlock's New Brain, definitely surprised on this list, in my opinion. Number 5, The Return of Optimus Prime. Now we bring Optimus Prime back again to retcon the ending of Dark Awakening. Which Dark Awakening, at the end he's burnt, melted, he's got one, part of his face is missing, he's missing an arm, but in Return of Optimus Prime he's discovered on the ship just floating to, I think it was a star gonna go Nova or something, and he was rescued by the doctors, Morgan or whatever, and they get him out and he looks brand spanking new, like he was just rolled off the assembly line. Overall, it is a 2-part episode that has also some of the better animation, especially in part 2, and also gets to see the hate play come about. You get to see Hot Rod, or Optimus Prime, relinquish his power to Optimus Prime and bring him back just to, try to save a dying franchise. Anyway, it's an enjoyable episode, and we got some memorable internet comedy from Dr. Smooth for Cup and his shit piece. Number 4, The Secret of Omega Supreme. Alright, this episode made it here, and I guess I enjoy the episode. I find it to be one of the worst, I don't say looking episodes of season 2, but overall in the story, it is, it's enjoyable. You get to pretty much see how the Constructicons turn bad, which in itself causes confusion within the series. Well, we'll just leave that for another episode, another time. I'm sure there's plenty of other Transformer YouTubers that cover that as well. But we get to see Omega Supreme's pretty much how he came about, what he was doing on Cybertron. Because he just appeared in Season 2 like a lot of the Season 2 cast. We didn't get any intros. I guess I assume they were there the entire time. But we get to see Omega Supreme. We see why Devastator is his frenemy. We also get to see Omega Supreme attack a mechanical bird that was hatched out of the planet that him and Devastator were fighting on. He hatched out, and he released his bird. Has to go get it. It's still an enjoyable episode. Not anything with Omega Supreme actually being a badass is a good episode. Number 3, Heavy Metal War. Here's Heavy Metal War. Now this one I got a lot for this one as well. This also brings in a combiner. It brings in Devastator, and there's a throwaway line you just said real quick with Megatron that they're worth the time they spent building them in these caverns or something like to that effect. I hadn't watched the episode in a while, but so you watch this and you're like, oh, they just made these guys. But then you watch season 2 and he was on Cybertron and Megatron had to brainwash them. Then you watch season 3 and the Constructicons built Megatron. Yeah, see, we just have to just not worry about all that. But overall, this is a very enjoyable episode. It has Devastator battling off against the Dinobots, and also has the Hound doing that. What's he called? Halonix Maxim, whatever they call him. A big huge thing. His hologram to scare off Devastator and all that stuff. Overall, a very enjoyable episode. Has Optimus Prime battling Megatron, and the loser leaves Cybertron. Loser leaves Earth. Oh, Lord. It's early in the morning for me, but the loser leaves Earth, and so it's got a good story in it of itself, and it actually is one of the better episodes. I do enjoy that one very much, and a definite, number 3 if there had to be one. Number 2, The Key to Vector Sigma. It's parts 1 and 2. And Key to Vector Sigma is another episode where it's the origins of Combiners. You got the Aerobots and the Stunticons, and I'm going to say this right here, right now, I don't really like the Aerobots. They're always one of the worst Combiner teams, in my opinion. I think it's because the cartoon made them into a-holes. But I always loved the Stunticons. They were always my favorite Combiner team as a kid. But as I gotten older, I've kind of merged. I like the Combaticons. But yeah, that's off topic. But this is an episode, again, where you got the origin of the Combiners. And they go to Cybertron. It's interesting. You get the key. And then Megatron goes back to Earth, starts turning things to metal, and then it's a good episode, and you get Omega Supreme back and him and Superion have to team up to take out Menasor. Number 1, Fire in the Sky. Now this episode took me by surprise, especially to be number 1. Fire in the Sky is the origin of Jetfire, or Skyfire as he is known in the cartoon. And it just surprised me. This one was mentioned a lot, and I was like, really? I've never ever thought of that episode being that great, but that's my own personal opinion. Apparently, a lot of people hold this episode in high regard, and I'm just curious, is that because it's the origin of Jetfire / Skyfire, and they like the G1 toy or whatnot, or is it just, you know, the overall story of the episode? It is one of the more personal episodes. You have Starscream and Jetfire or Skyfire. They were old friends on Cybertron pre-war, and Skyfire was lost. And then Starscream actually, I think, says he looked for him. So, you know, it gave Starscream more depth. That could be another reason for the episode. But it shows also how much Starscream has turned into just being an evil, treacherous Decepticon. And we have Jetfire / Skyfire risking his life and entombing himself in the ice once again to save the Autobots. But of course, he gets dug back out a few episodes later. I believe it was, I don't know which episode it was. It might be Fire on the Mountain. But I know he's back in that episode. But overall, that was a top 10 list. I'll run it down again. Number 10, Starscream Brigade. Number 9, Dark Awakening. Number 8, Traitor. Number 7, Ghost in the Machine. Number 6, Grimlock's New Brain. Number 5, Return of Optimus Prime. Number 4, The Secret of Omega Supreme. Number 3, Heavy Metal War. Number 2, The Key to Vector Sigmas, Part 1 and 2. Number 1, Fire in the Sky. So that was the top 10 list, and like I said, I'm surprised by the number 1. I didn't see that one coming, and I'm also surprised by how many Season 3 episodes snuck into this top 10 list. We have 4 Season 3 episodes and only 6 between Seasons 1 and 2. And I will say that some episodes from Season 3 still got mentions. I did get mentioned. Call of the Primitives was mentioned a few times. I think I even got the Rebirth. I got 5 Faces of Darkness. I also got some other Season 1s like Bruticus's Revenge, or Revenge of Bruticus. There's a lot of episodes that were mentioned that did not make it into the top 10, but these were the ones that were mentioned the most. And again, the question I'm posing for my next episode, what is your all-time favorite G1 Transformers toy? Let me know, like I said, down in the description below. Also, let me know at Twitter. Just tweet me at Soundwave8084. Hey, you can hashtag it SW Top 10. You can get me at Facebook at Soundwave8084. I will pose the question there. Also on my Instagram at Soundwave_8084_reviews. I'll also pose the question there. And I'll also post it on my YouTube community page. I'll post it there so you can answer it there as well. Also, if you like anything in this video, don't forget to hit like, click subscribe. Till the next one. Peace out.